Hello everyone, thank you for joining me on this video. My name is Chibike0. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to set up a solar PV system using a battery charger inverter. First, I will start by introducing the various components that we needed for this installation. First, we have here is the battery, 200 amp solar battery by 12 volts. Then we have a 3 kVA inverter charger system. Then we have a 30 amp MPPT charge controller. Then we have 150 watts solar panel, 2 of it. Then we have the DC cables and the AC cables. Then of course the circuit breakers for the connections. Now let's start the installation by first mounting the inverter, followed by the charge controller on the wall. The inverter has a hose where you can use to mount it on the wall. To have different holes here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to make use of the center ones here and here. Then towards this side as well. So we're going to make use of this brace and this brace. So first we are going to get the measurement of this hole so as to place it on the wall and make a mark out. So I'm going to do just that now. One foot. I'll first use my place my having obtained your straight line with your level, I will then mark out my measurement on this line. Which is 1 foot. Having done that, I will now proceed to so as soon as you have driven the screws on the marked dimension, you can now lift your inverter and place it here. Then you complete the down side of the screw fastening. So now I'm going to lift the inverter and place it up. So you complete the fastening of the screw. So next, we have finished mounting the inverter to the wall. So next we are going to do now is to mount the charge controller beside the inverter. Now, since we have mounted the inverter and the MPPT charge controller, the next is to mount the circuit breaker layer. So we bring the circuit breaker layer. So I'll mount it at this point. So I'll complete the circuit breaker. So this is the two circuit breaker for the charge controller. This for the battery cutout. Then this for the output and input of the inverter, which is at this side. So I will start, having mounted the inverter, the MPPT charge controller. I will now proceed to start the connection using the cables. So this is the solar cable we are going to be making use of. So we're going to use this solar cable to connect this panel to this MPPT. So we are going to be linking this panel in series connection. So at one end we have the MC4 connector, then the other end is open. So we're going to connect the solar panel in series connection, joining the two panels together from one end to the other. So by series connection, I mean is joining one end of the MC connector of one panel, the negative to the positive of the other panel. Then we are left with a string which is we have one positive and one negative at the other end. So this is the positive of the first panel and negative of the other panel. So we'll close them together. So now they are in series connection. So we now have the free ends. So the free end is the one that we're going to add our cable to. So we join positive to then negative to negative. As soon as we are done with that, we're going to connect it to the MPPT through the breaker, circuit breaker. So make sure to observe the polarity. Make sure that you are putting the negative where the positive is, in order to avoid reverse polarity. So now we are done with the connection through the solar panel to the MPPT, remaining the battery cable to the battery. So now we move over to set up the battery. So we will set the battery in a 24 volts system voltage, because our inverter here is 24 volts. So we'll set it up in 24 volts by linking one end of the battery, the positive to the negative. So we do that with a linking cable. So as soon as you connected the battery, now the battery is in 24-volt setup. So we are going to bring the MPPT battery cable. So press positive to the positive terminal. And negative to the negative terminal. So we can proceed to test, to on the circuit breaker to test the MPPT. So we on the circuit breaker, the battery circuit breaker, which is this. So once we on it, you can see the MPPT will detect the battery. Can swear on the solar panel to come on it. So we'll turn our solar panel to see if it charge. So now we are done with the solar panel and the MPPT. So we'll move over to the inverter. So we'll start from connecting the inverter, connecting the battery to the inverter through the inverter circuit breaker. So we guide the battery cable properly. Make sure that it has reached to the end. So now we have completed the connection of the inverter to the battery through the circuit breaker. Now we can go on to test the inverter by putting on the circuit breaker. So we put on the circuit breaker, then this is the switch. So power it on by pressing the down side. The inverter will come on. So we have completed the first stage of powering the inverter from the battery. So now we are going to complete the output of the inverter. So now we have completed from the inverter to the circuit breaker, both the input and the output to the circuit breaker. So we have the output in the first circuit breaker here, then the input in the second circuit breaker. So we now proceed to add the load to the first circuit breaker to power the load using the inverter. Then this is our input cable. Now we are done with the wiring of the system, so we can go on to power the system. So we'll first do that by on the circuit breaker. Then we on the inverter button, on button. We place it down. The inverter will come on and start to produce. It's producing 229 volts at 50 Hz. So for us to now power the load, to test the load with the inverter, we will now proceed to on the circuit breaker, the one at the first circuit breaker. So you can see our load has come on. So we have successfully powered our load with the inverter. So we can also go ahead, if we want the inverter to charge, we can also go ahead and connect the input. So we have on the input to the inverter, and the inverter have started charging the battery. So you can see a bypass have appeared, and the inverter has started charging the battery. With this, we have come to the end of this installation. So if you have followed us to this end, please do like our video, share our video, follow us, and also subscribe. Thank you for watching.